Hi, this is Sydney Automotive with the Crowdfund Beat here in beautiful city of Montreal with Jilliene and Helman. Jilliene, you're here for a conference.
We are. We're here for a Montreal crowdfunding conference, and it's wonderful. What a beautiful city and what a beautiful place.
Yeah, we should say that we have to thank our host here, Perry, has in a wonderful conference, and soon you're going to be coming and speaking about the crowdfunding real estate, and I know you're traveling all around the U.S. Now we're in another country. What's your ambition?
Realty Mogul goes international to speak. We're not an international brand yet, but we've always got our sights set on doing more, and who knows? We're here to learn more about the Canadian environment and the regulatory landscape and the opportunities here in Canada. So I'm honored to be a part of the conference and really honored to learn myself.
Yeah, that's good. So what are you going to be talking about? About the real estate in general, which you are all around the country. I know you're very demand and a lot of conferences they're contacting you, and then that goes a long way that I saw you at the first funder club that you were participating and you were presenting to for that real prize. So you become a star.
Yeah, I speak at a lot of conferences. You know, I'm our biggest brand advocate, so I'm getting the message out. But really here in Canada, I want to share what I've learned in the United States market. You know, I know very little about the Canadian market, but I'm hopeful that some of the things that we've learned in the U.S. can be helpful as they continue to develop the crowdfunding environment in Canada.
Yeah. Okay, then that's good. You know, Jill, and I always respect you because you advocate about good thing about crowdfunding that is happening, but also your credit. You know, you always have that sign of a caution, and which I'm share with you personally because it's not about all bubbly and good thing over there. I know. I mean, and it is. So we got to be careful. We got to guard our industry. So, what is your recommendation? What did you see? What do you have to see? We go next. And you read that SEC Crowdfunding had some interview with you, and you read all of them in 2 or 3 days. So, what is your recommendation?
My recommendation, if you're an investor, is to work with crowdfunding companies that are really focus on the financial services aspect of it. You know, these are technology businesses and you are investing online, but it's really a financial services business at the heart of it. And so I'd be very cautious of the types of companies that you're investing in and how they think about crowdfunding. Do they think about it as a true investment or as, something willy-nilly that you do online with a couple clicks of the button? So that's one of them. And then it's, the regulations that you're talking about, the Title III regulations, it's going to be very, very interesting to see what comes out of them. One of my big concerns in real estate specifically is this whole idea of audited financials and the $1 million cap. $1 million in real estate is not a whole lot of money. So it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out. But, I'd urge people who are writing comment letters to the SEC to keep that in mind that, non-accredited investors want access to $30 and $40 and $50 million real estate projects too.
Okay, so you've seen that getting away from 506C, and so more of getting to when it comes to the main street is going to be a little bit difficult. I mean, because I read it too. There was only about $100,000, and they can audit at any time. I think investors going to pay for that.
Yeah, it's going to end up hitting investor returns, and that's my biggest challenge. Is crowdfunding, I think, in the equities and in the securities market should be thought of as an alternative to stocks and bonds and other investment vehicles, and we're going to be competing with those other investment vehicles for capital to go into high quality projects, and investors are going to pay for the auditing. I can assure you that the real estate companies we work with, if they haven't audited their transactions historically, they're not going to start. I mean, they'll do it, but they won't pay for it. And that's going to come directly out of investor returns, which is not a good thing for investors, in my opinion.
So you've seen that a lot of obstacles to these rules, and when do you think the rule? Speaking of rule, when do you think is going to be passed? We're going to have a full Title III.
I think that we'll see it probably Q2 of next year. It might be passed sooner than that, but kind of like what they did for Title II, they'll need some time to put the regulations in place. They'll need some time to change the online systems, like they did with Edgar with SEC filings for Reg D 506C with general solicitation. They're going to need time to make these changes, and it's going to be a very, very big market. So I don't think the SEC takes that lightly, which they shouldn't, which I think is a good thing, but probably Q2 of next year.
Are you going to be talking on behalf of the real estate crowdfunding or crowdfinancing? A lot of people kind of, by the way, I like that word crowdfund beat, but I do like this some of our colleagues, they call it crowd financing. After all, I have to agree with you. This is my experience has been, this is a finance business. This is a SEC business. We need to have professionals like you that they have that background. Or they're all bright, one of our people, and also people in the industry that the Wall Street, which when we see them, they have interest. They come to the table and actually run these things. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think that you're spot on. We can think of it as crowd finance. I'm excited that more folks in the financial services world are starting to take note, and larger real estate companies are starting to take note. When we first started this business, we'd go to real estate companies and say, hey, we want to do crowdfunding. They go, crowd what? What are you talking about? And now we've got companies who have done $1 billion in real estate approaching us and saying, hey, we want in too. We're interested too. And the ability to bring that kind of history and track record to investors is amazing. I can't wait.
Okay. Well, Jilliene, I know you're going to be having soon a presentation, and we were lucky to be here to tape some of your presentations so everybody knows about that. And we appreciate your time. We appreciate what you're doing for crowdfund industry, and we're grateful for your knowledge. And welcome again to Crowdfund Beat. And let's enjoy the conference and see your speech over there.
Thank you.
And here, this is Sydney Armani with the Crowdfund Beat with Jilliene Helman, Realty Mogul, and saying so long. And stay tuned for the presentation.